In the U.S., stock index futures pointed in different directions ahead of Thursday's open as investors shifted their attention to the corporate space. At around 5:45 a.m. Eastern Time, Dow futures rose 40 points, indicating a positive open of 49.90 points, while S&P 500 futures indicated a relatively subdued start to a session. The tech-heavy Nasdaq, however, pointed to sharp losses at the open, indicating losses of 108.34 points. Our tech stocks are expected to slip during the course of Thursday's session after social media giant Facebook published quarterly results that underwhelmed investors. Even more big names are set to issue financial results out of the slew set to report. Allergan, Bristol-Myers Squibb, Comcast, MasterCard, McDonald's, American Airlines Group, Hershey, and Under Armour are expected to issue their earnings before the bell. Meantime, Amazon.com, Intel, Starbucks, Chipotle Mexican Grill, Discover Financial, Electronic Arts, and Expedia will report after the bell. On the data front, jobless claims and advanced economic indicators are due out at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, followed by Kansas City Fed Manufacturing Survey at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Now, this comes a day before U.S. gross domestic product data is due, and that should be tomorrow. In Asia, stocks closed mixed today, with losses in the Chinese markets deepening by the day's finish. Greater China markets dropped in the afternoon, with the Shanghai Composite declining 0.71% and the smaller Shenzhen Composite dropping 0.92%. The Hang Seng Index had lost 0.61%, with the tech and financial sectors leading declines. Japan's Nikkei 225 closed lower by 0.12%. In South Korea, the benchmark Kospi climbed 0.71%. Meanwhile, Australia's S&P ASX 200 edged down 0.05%. Well, away from the markets and back here in Africa, Tanzania plans to establish a minerals exchange by the end of this year, in a bid to ensure the East African nation reaps the most from its resources. The nation's resources, including gold, diamonds, iron, silver, copper, graphite, and other rare earth minerals such as gemstones. According to the Minerals Minister, officials from the Tanzania Mercantile Exchange, which was launched in 2015 to trade agricultural produce and has yet to start, will help develop the mineral exchange. And Kenya's oldest standalone mortgage provider plans to offload its entire home loans book only to build it up again. HF Group Limited expects to benefit from the government's push to construct 500,000 affordable homes over the next 5 years to try to narrow a shortfall at least 5 times that size. HF Group plans to provide housing loans of as low as 2.5 million shillings for about 200 new housing units over the next year. And South African government says it cannot afford large-scale expansion of its nuclear power fleet, but would still be open to future nuclear deals with Russia. The nuclear project was prioritized by former President Jacob Zuma, but new President Cyril Ramaphosa, who has promised to revive the economy and crack down on corruption since becoming president in February, canned the plan, saying the country could not afford a large-scale nuclear expansion. The African National Congress Treasurer General Paul Mashatile, one of the top 6 most powerful members in the ruling party, which oversees the government's economic policies, said Pretoria would not take the big bang approach to nuclear expansion. He was speaking at a business breakfast on the sidelines of the 3-day BRICS summit that kicked off on Wednesday. And Zimbabwe's cashless economy has left businesses in the country's capital, Harare, stranded with little or no money coming in as the country gears up for election next Monday, that's July 30. And most entrepreneurs and business people are hoping that the cash crisis will be one of the first issues to be tackled by the elected government.
Inside his electronic shop, Mulauzi says the flow of customers has significantly gone down and he has been struggling to sell products for months. The few customers he gets normally buy small electronic devices which they pay for by using a mobile electronic system called EcoCash.
We have got a number of methods of transacting. like transfers. We are doing transfers to our suppliers by using transfers. And also when we are selling the goods to customers, the customers are using Swipe, and also they are using EcoCash, because we are facing a challenge of having hard cash on the market. So that's when we are going to be affected by, on daily basis, sometimes we change prices due to the fact that we also need to suit the economy by each and every time. So it will be difficult for us to maintain our prices. That means we are supposed to change prices time and again. So it will affect now ourselves.
While many countries have been familiar with mobile money transfers, Zimbabwe was forced to adapt the EcoCash due to the severe shortage of hard currency and banks running dry. For daily transactions, locals simply load a number or code to which they need to transfer the money to, and the recipient gets a notification to confirm payment. EcoCash is the reason many Zimbabweans can still pay their bills and buy groceries.
With this type of economy, we just need to maintain our stock so that we won't go out from business. So we are trying by all means to maintain our stock. We are not importing much stock at the present moment. We're just trying to maintain our stock so that we will keep ourselves into business until the economy is okay.
If the percentages can be lower, like 1:1 when you're doing transactions, like what the authorities have said in the first. But now the prices are getting exuberant over the use of that mode, and it's becoming a little bit tough.
Due to a raging hyperinflation, Zimbabwe abandoned its own currency in 2009 in favor of the US dollar. But a widening trade deficit and lack of foreign investments led to the current cash shortage. For ordinary Zimbabweans, this means winter nights sleeping outside banks in the hope of withdrawing the few dollars that are left, sometimes $15 in coins, often nothing. The crunch wasn't solved by the introduction of the bond notes, which officially trade at parity with the US dollar, but have already depreciated to 1.60 to the dollar.
When we come back after the break, it will be time for our commodities update with kerosene in focus. To stay with us.